think I just deleted my entire lecture. Ah. Okay, fine. I ran out of memory. Again, I wasn't paying attention. Oh well. So the idea here is, okay, so we install logic into the government. That's a great plan. Okay. So what happens if we install a requirement for good character? How about that? So, sorry about that. Okay, so a requirement to be ethical, to be honest, and caring. Caring equals action. So, they don't have to care about themselves, but they have to care about the citizen, right? They actually put that in there. So that's interesting because then citizens could take a politician to court because they don't care, or they're doing things that are not honest or ethical. Well, yeah. And the politician would have to refute that. True. That's interesting. What it comes down to is, if that were true, you wouldn't really need the ethics, right? Because if you had the logic in there, you'd have a PSA channel, public service announcement channel. Just, not just in the minute, the Senate floor or the legislative floor. It's interesting. I don't think we have a state legislator live, and I don't think we have a show that does all the minutes, the Reader's Digest version of everything. Puts it into a succinct program and then shows everything that happened that day. Well, there's probably something on the internet for that. Probably you could download an app that does that. The idea is, the PSA channel, right, would be you need a hook. You need to get people to watch, right? So what happens if you had game shows on the government channel, like lotteries, right? People need to call up or use an app. They can follow along watching television and on their app, right? And you win stuff. The government just gives away free stuff all day long. All day long. Gives out free stuff for people. Get people to watch the PSA channel. I think it's a great idea. That would show that the government really cares. What would it have on there? Like, hey, why don't you try using a condom? Would you have a birth control? Hey, could you use the rhythm method? Maybe just not. If you're not gonna use any kind of protection, how about just not while she's ovulating? Which drastically reduce the risk. Well, it is a risk of getting pregnant if you can't support a baby. So, yeah, things like that. Yeah. So, I don't think that should be controversial. People are going to have sex no matter what. So, hey, why don't you advocate responsibility, not spreading venereal diseases, unwanted pregnancies, maybe some counseling. If you're in a relationship, is sex always the best idea? Is that abstinence? No, it's just, common sense. You know, I really like this person, but then, you know, I know it's a problem for me, a trigger, somehow. You know, if I involve myself sexually too early, it causes a problem, right? That's the case for a lot of people. It's not religious, it's just basic ethics, breaking that down to logic, the psychological ramifications of sexual gratification without due without acknowledgement of personal problems. How about that? All right, that's interesting. You know, um, how to be thrifty, spendthrift. All the best top techniques by the experts to pinch a penny. Save money, how to save money, how to make investments. So you're not just saving money, you're actually you're profiting, right, off of your savings. And then, that takes you earlier to that house that you want, what's the difference between going in with a few $1,000s and having a huge mortgage as opposed to, putting a huge down payment on a house? Well, yeah, there are, of course, there's huge differences in the amount of, putting yourself personally in jeopardy. Yeah, I mean, you have one of those jobs that you're gonna have for the next 25 years, 50 years, or whatever. Well, people can do that themselves. That's true. But then there's this thought. Excuse me, lick my lips. If you can help somebody in any way possible, why wouldn't you do it? So, it's like you have a radio station, AM, does the same thing, gives away stuff all day long. But it's a public service announcement. It's on AM. It's a weird thing about radio. A lot of channels, I guarantee people aren't listening to all those channels. It's just a way to fill up the airwaves with garbage. Right. Anyhow, there's just so many things I think that are so corrupt about government. Unbelievable. They go to such lengths to cause a problem for people. So, yeah, the altruistic government. The altruism is intellectual. Okay, you're giving something away for free. Yeah, giving away free prizes all day. But then there's this argument that it's more than altruism. What you're doing is you're investing in people and into you're helping people change their mentality and people will become more prosperous and peaceful. Yeah. And it pays big dividends in civilization. Well, true. In the light of that, it's like, why wouldn't the government do that? It's not their responsibility. Well, it's their responsibility to create all these stupid, idiotic laws for no reason. our last president, was it some insane number of laws regarding business regulations? It was in the thousands. Thousands? How could you create thousands of more laws on top of standards and practices? Who knows? It's just complete. Uh, there's no word for that, really. It is insanity, really. It's just completely, it's not even hitting the absolutes of anything. It's just insane. Insane lawmaking. Government can do that, right? But they can't, put a PSA channel on television or on the radio. Well, so the another argument here is, do we become more anarchist in nature? Okay, we have the capitalism, right? But is it then, do we eventually realize that we have an anarchist system that sort of floats over the capitalist system? Really, we all know what to do. We all know how to do it. All the scientific processes for government, civilization, reckoning life, the dead reckoning of reality. That's a big one, right? Because that is a function of intellectualism. People don't want to hear that. That's fine, but I'll say it. People are smarter, understand bigger words. Sometimes those words are only 2 syllables, but they're really big words, right? They go deep. Sometimes they go lateral. So going depth, going to the lateral, going interspatial, all at the same time with words. Yeah, so not just someone that's scientifically smart, talking about someone that's very word smart, which is overall brain power, intellect. That's the intellectual. Life is not fair, so why don't intellectuals get together and beat down the government's door to help people that have difficulty with intellectual arguments? It may not sound nice, but the requirements for intellectualism, prescient, being prescient in all situations in the sphere, that's difficult. Salient, okay, that's a difficult concept. Not exactly. Means you understand the diaspora of a situation. It's not a sphere, it's a diaspora. First one's sphere, second is diaspora, right? Then you're able to gnash all those arguments. Or glottis. Yeah. So you'd be able to put those into a sort of like a nexus argument. Be able to wold. Yeah. World arguments. And the fourth one here. We call it the opposite is arse arguments. But yeah, okay, I gotta think about this for a second. Alright, I'm not trying to be an ass. That's true. I genuinely wish to help. I don't like the word help, assist people. really. Okay. You have prescient, salient, and it's really nascent is the other word. Well, we say Nash because in the dictionary, nascent isn't a very good, nice thing to say. Uh, yeah, those are statics, or what we call, those are stoichiometric for intellectualism. The other two require folding arguments and what we call frigids. That's difficult, man. When I say that, you're looking at somewhere around 158 IQ minimum. Yeah. So you go 3, but then you go the other 2, and there's a huge jump in IQ requirement. I'm not trying to be condescending towards anyone, but yeah. So that's when I say when people they get all that stuff, are able to sphere and pin the sphere in ways that other people can't simply think of and see around an argument, sort of like curve all the way around an argument to see something that normally is obscured or invisible. It's true. So I'll just leave this lecture at that.